want to take this time to brag on Naomi. So for those of you who don't know, in the story of Ruth, you have Ruth, Naomi. Ruth had a sister. Ruth and her sisters were married to Naomi's sons. Naomi's husband died, her sons died, and her two daughter-in-laws actually followed her to a particular place because there was a famine in the land. So they followed Naomi to a place, right? But once they got there, Naomi was like, hey, y'all, listen, I'm old. The Lord has basically forsaken me. I'm not going to have any more kids. And even if I did, you will have to wait on those children to be born and then wait on them to grow up in order to marry them. So go on back to our homeland and then get you a husband and you will call it a day. Ain't no need of sitting around here waiting on me because ain't nothing cracking. Ain't nothing cracking. Ain't nobody cracking me. Ain't nothing cracking here. And you ain't getting nothing cracking. So go on back, right? So at first, the daughter-in-laws was like, no, we gonna kick it with you. We gonna ride or die. Naomi was like, listen, don't do that, right? I've even changed my name to basically mean bitterness and sorrowfulness because God ain't really rocking with me like that. I don't really know, but go. You see what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to be responsible for your beautiful youth declining at the sacrifice of me. I ain't got nothing going on. I ain't got nothing for you. Basically, I ain't got nothing against you, but I ain't got nothing for you. Y'all going on. So the sister went on. Ruth was like, hey, listen, I'm going to rock with you. Your God going to be my God, and we're going to ride this thing out. As a matter of fact, tell your God that if I leave you for any reason beside death, he might as well go ahead and kill me because I'm going to ride or die. All right, so boom. They gone on to where they was going, right? So then Ruth frolics on out and she moves on. She meets Boaz, and it was a beautiful story. But what I want to specifically take time to highlight is a particular incident that happened with Naomi. Let's talk about Naomi, right? So let's check this internal struggle that Naomi had going on, all right? So in Ruth chapter 121, it says, I went away full, but the Lord has brought me back empty. Why call me Naomi when the Lord has afflicted me and the Almighty has brought misfortune upon me? At the same time, with the same tongue, Naomi told the daughter-in-laws, each of you should go back to home to your mother. You have been very kind to me and my sons who are now dead. So I pray that the Lord will be just as kind to you. This, we have a conundrum. And let me tell you what I mean by that. I want to give Naomi her props because she did not allow her own internal, personal perspective of how God was dealing with her in her life through affliction and misfortune to affect how she promoted God in others. Listen, y'all gonna put some respect on Naomi. You see, I have a Bible study with a couple other people, and when we was reading this, I never realized how MVP Naomi was in this story. Because the story is mainly about Ruth. And shout out to Ruth. She was a foreigner, but she had a child that ended up being the great-grandfather of King David, by which Jesus came out of that lineage. But we'll deal with that another time. Let's get back to Naomi. You see, a lot of times, whenever people are church hurt, meaning someone in a particular congregation said or did something that afflicted them or that they didn't like, they then turn their back on God as if God did it. But Naomi didn't do that. And sometimes whenever people are dealing with their own internal struggles from God, because a lot of stuff y'all did to yourself and you blame God for because you got a lack of understanding of who God is and how he operates, but we'll deal with that in another video. Naomi didn't do that. Even though Naomi had her own perception of how God was operating in a time of her life where she felt like God was against her, she did not let that affect what she knew God could do in somebody else's life. Listen. Let me tell y'all how great that is. Let's go on over to the book of Job. Just real quick, because I don't think y'all understand what that does, right? In Job, Job was doing good the first couple chapters. But whenever calamity had hit Job, Job said, curse the day I was born and mark it off the calendar. First of all, Job, hold on. You weren't the only one born on that day. So how you just done wiped away everybody that was born on your day too, just because what you got going on? You see, my girl Nene didn't do that. Nene didn't do that. So I need y'all to put some respect on Naomi, because she didn't do that. Naomi exemplified what I call a matured spiritual understanding. And it is the ability to separate your individual situations from God and his character in someone else's life. I really need y'all to understand what I'm saying, because that was so good to me. Shout out to my girl, Nene. Follow for more.